everyone, this is the second video I'm doing on my new patch library for Omnisphere. It's called Convergence and it's all to do with time, using reverbs, delays, etc. In my first video for Convergence we looked at the version for Twisted Trees, which is a sonic extension that Spectrasonics released. So you'll need Twisted Trees to use that particular version of Convergence. In this video, we're going to look at the version of Convergence that doesn't require anything extra. All you actually just need is Omnisphere. As long as you've got Omnisphere, you don't need any sonic extensions or anything extra. You can go and buy the library, download it, install it into Omnisphere, and you can play. So in this video, we're just going to explore the patches. We'll start with the ARPs and sequences. I'm not going to do every single patch here. We'll be here for quite some time. There's over 100 to play with, so we're just going to be a bit judicious with what we listen to and look at. Now these do sound slightly different to the Twisted Trees versions, mainly because the special effects that Twisted Trees provides. I've tried to get as close as I possibly can to what that library will provide. So this one will sound slightly different. And I've also given some nice little highlights here. So the mod wheel will alter your cutoff, and velocity adjusts the echo delay for layer A and C. Now, when I say velocity, is how hard you hit the key. So nice soft press, and we get this. So a little bit of echo and delay. Now, you might hear this over the microphone, so apologies, but I'm going to really hit the key, so I get 127 on the MIDI input. So you get a longer echo, a longer delay. So something to play with if you use that patch. Now there's a lot going on this patch, and it's self-oscillating. And if you look, we're using UVI1, and this is the only filter within Omnisphere that self-oscillates. So if you whack the resonance right up, it will just self-oscillate on the filter section. So my tip on that one is to play it lower down on the keyboard, because if you play it higher up, it might get a little bit harsh in the frequencies. So this is a really slow arp. Sorry for the plosive there, but a very, very slowly move arpeggiation. We have a couple of drum patches here. I'll just play one of them. So it says best play with 2 notes an octave apart. And you can create your own pattern. You know, all you do is just mess around with this arpeggiator here. So let's do something. I haven't got a clue what this is going to sound like, but there we go. Sounds like a mad drummer. So that's your ARP section. We're just going to move on to pads now. And I do love pads. So if I just nip over to the front main screen here. So on these pads, we've got a whole section that use the orb. And we have exactly the same name pads that don't use the orb, but use different modulations. So they do sound very, very much different. So alternate history. Now if I play the other version, so there's a difference there. Let's go for another one, Divergence time. Let's different key this time. So that's the old version. This is the normal version. A little bit more hopful. Timeline. Now this says to play with the aftertouch for some pulsing effect. So let's do that. And the other version of Fixed Timeline, completely different. I've said this in literally all my Omnisphere videos. Aftertouch, read your MIDI controller manual. You'd be surprised how many people have contacted me and said, you know, different things about Aftertouch and it's not working or something's gone wrong with my keyboard. Check your manual, because not every single MIDI controller supports Aftertouch. Basically, Aftertouch is, if you think you've got to the bottom of your key bed when you press the key, just push very gently, a little bit harder, and it'll engage Aftertouch. But be very careful. I don't want any news of any broken controls and stuff. I'm not going to be held responsible for that, because you just need to check your MIDI controller manual. It's one of those RTFM moments, and if you don't know what RTFM stands for, just stick into Google. And now the version with the mod wheel. So where are we up to? We'll do per diem next. Just do a couple more and move on to the next section. Some nice depths to these pads, and where we go for Triennium is the final one we'll listen to. So yeah, I took sound sources. It says there some of the sound sources used was in a MAM MB33, which is a little boutique bass synthesizer based on sort of like a 303 sound, and an Erebus Dreadbox, which managed to pick up in a little sale that provides some nice sounds. You also have, strange enough, a Tenor Recorder. Yes, I can poly a Tenor Recorder, and I thought it'd be great just to sample a couple of notes from that, so I did, and they appear in this library. We also have samples from a Minibrute I'll just double check, just bear with me 1 second. A Minibrute 2S. So I just had to have a quick sneaky peek across there. So I sampled some from there, and we have them in here. I've mixed the names up. All these are time terms, basically, in the sense of stages of Earth's geological changes and things like that. I just thought keep with the theme of the library. So let's go on to some synth bass. Now, open the mod wheel and you get a nice classic sound. Bit of laser harp. I couldn't resist sneaking that into the library. I really do like the sound of the laser harp. Now there's nothing to stop you going to the ARP section here and just let's have a bit of fun. Let's go 16 steps, leave it as it is. Transpose, let's throw in a quick pattern. A 7, so I want to go up to a 5th, a 7th, leave that there. Wang it up an octave. Wang that one down a 7th. Go that up. Go up a 3rd. And we have this. And then what you can do is whack it onto chaos for a very interesting sequence. And introduce a second note. And a third note. Oh, why the hell not? Fourth note. And if that sequence is too fast, so I've given you sort of a basic building blocks here. You've got a bass, but you can take it off into one almighty sequence, and we just saw very, very extremely quickly. In actual fact, I like that sequence, so I'm just going to save that actually. I'm going to put in stick in this one, and I'm going to say what do we call this one? Convergence Chaos. There we go. So I might return to that later. And then we have, what are we on to? Time Traveller. So it starts off dark. Open the mod wheel. And you can engage the ARP. Oh, I like this one. Amazonian. This is probably one of my favourite sounds in the library that I designed. Yeah, I could play with that for a bit. So anyway, move on to the next one. So that's your two sort of like lead mono patches. We have a whole bunch of synth polys. Got 3 special ones at the beginning here where I've used bias to split the keyboard. Let me just remember which way around does it actually say. Yep, A and C. So these 2 layers are in the lower half. These 2 are in the upper half. So we end up with this. In the lower half. And in the upper half. And the other one is Time is Powerful, exactly the same setup. Instant ambience, instant, I can make a whole track on this particular sound. And we'll do the next one. Waited for No Man. We got 3 quite special patches there. Butterfly effect. Let's see what this one is. We have to have a patch called Multiverse. It wouldn't be anything to do about time, this patch library, if it wasn't a patch called Multiverse. I'm sure a few people would say, oh, you missed a trick there. So that's why it's in. Again, it's one of these patches where I used the velocity to adjust the echo and delay of 2 layers, layer A and C. Let's go for time dilation. Satisfying low end this patch. Very responsive sound as well. Okay, some textures, soundscapes. Nice deep drone. This is what these textures work very well at, actually, is drones. So just a little hint there. The way I designed them is to work as drones in the background, or even spot effects. So you're trying, when I say spot effects, a transition between sections in your music. See, this is one that can work really well as a spot effect. So nice short bursts. It's best played as short bursts in the low octaves. So yeah, let's go for Twilight next. Now that pitch bending sound is the aftertouch. We'll do the last one, Twilight Rising. So there we go. You have been listening to Convergence for Omnisphere. You can pick this library up at rockymountainsounds.com or my own website, adrianearnshaw.com. It's available today. Just click in the links below, the clean links, no affiliation because it's my library. I put this together, so it goes straight to my website or it goes straight to Jason's website over at Rocky Mountain Sounds. You can pick it up from either of us and you get exactly the same library. And I hope you enjoyed this little playthrough and walkthrough and ramble by me. And if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding that bell. Leave a comment below as to what you thought of the sounds, and if you create any music using these sounds, just drop a link below. I'd love to hear what you actually do with this library. It's been a labour of love. It's taken me quite some time to put together, so I'd just love to hear what you actually do with the sounds. So until next time, stay creative, stay sonic. See you in the next one.